Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is August the 26th, 2024. Strong and long term thinking. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Offended by selling, confident decentralist. Remember that one. In motion. That's another big one for today, too. All right. Hello, my elite friends. I am, of course, in Salt Lake City. I am at the, the WeWork. Yeah. Hey, I think one Bitcoin, how many, 16 Bitcoin make you a millionaire now? I don't know what it is. But I am here at WeWork, and I was here 6 months ago also, at this event that comes twice a year to Salt Lake City called the Mountain DAO. And these dudes are all into Solana. And Barrett is one of the dudes who puts it on. I love him. I thank him very much for giving me this opportunity to be here and getting this vibe so I can bring it to the Bitcoin people of the world. The Bitcoin people of the world have their misconceptions. It's a very tribal atmosphere in the cryptocurrency world. We'll get into that in a second, about what goes on in other cryptocurrency ecosystems. And last time I was very impressed by the youth and the exuberance and the just doing things. So I wanted to report again live from this event. You can tell I'm not at my usual location, right? This is what a WeWork looks like. Yeah, and I need to wash my darn hair too. But anyway, okay, bear with me. We're going to talk Bitcoin. We're going to talk Solana. We're going to talk Ethereum. We're going to talk a lot of different things today. So I have a lot of, and tomorrow, or not tomorrow, in a few days, I'm going to comment on Whitney Webb was on a Bitcoin show recently on Natalie's Bitcoin show, and it's the usual gloom and doom, just complete nonsense and lies that all these drooling men can't even call out. But I will bring that up on my next show, so stay tuned for that. So let's start with some. What goes on in the bigger environment of economics and how it affects Bitcoin and how it affects other cryptocurrencies. A lot of people like to scream about how Solana is funded, many of the projects by venture capitalists. If it were not for venture capitalists, there would not be a Solana, and Bitcoin does not have that issue. And this is very true. But some of the best venture capitalists in the world are funding the projects here. So I don't see it going away. But Bitcoin, it doesn't need venture capitalists. It doesn't need Trump winning the election. That would help. And again, venture capitalists are very welcome in Bitcoin too to fund businesses. And it doesn't need the Fed rate cuts, although Fed rate cuts will be great for Bitcoin. I'm looking forward to September to see if Bitcoin zooms up to $88,000 soon after. We've talked about why that might happen. But these altcoins, Solana, Ethereum, whatever, they really do need these things to happen to get the froth going again, to get people's, just to get a lot of money flowing back into it. And so you might say, well, then I'm going to be in Bitcoin. Okay, but I got to tell you this. Bitcoin does better when all these other coins are doing better. When you might all think it's nonsense, Ethereum, Solana, whatever, you might all think it's nonsense. But when those ones start to zoom up, Bitcoin, the whole market, all these people start talking about cryptocurrency all over the freaking world, okay? So, yet, Bitcoin does not depend on venture capitalists and the Fed rate cut and Trump, but... Dude, it'd be so great for Bitcoin if Trump wins, okay? Compared to the alternative, or you'll see it in the price when it happens, and it'll be also very good for Bitcoin if the Fed cuts rates. But it'll mean a lot more to these altcoins too. Some could die without those things happen. I'm not saying Solana would die without it, but some of the smaller ones would. All right. So what's this Mountain DAO like? It's a bunch of young people. They're in dress downs. You say I'm like dressed formally by wearing this. I mean, you see people that are they're not wearing much clothes. Seriously, I've seen some interesting outfits here and stuff. You see a lot of skin here. Maybe I'm an old timer. I mean, I've been in Bitcoin since 2013. So some of these kids were literally they were kids then and stuff. So yeah, I am the old timer to them, no doubt about it. And many of the people, they just see me walking around. You know, a lot of these people are looking for funding, and they have no idea who I am. If only they understood. If they only watched my pinned video, I think that they might talk to me about, you know, I'm not going to fund anything, first of all. But clearly, yeah, I do have enough, more than enough Bitcoin to blow it on crazy funding projects. But I know not to do that because I've never spent the Bitcoin. I've never gotten rid of a Bitcoin for fiat. Pound that like button, although it's going to come soon because I'm running out of fiat. Anyway, so, and for all you people who love the show, you know, you send the super chat. Thank you all the people who have sent the super chat. We only need $15 for the next one Bitcoin show. Elizabeth, Deniz, all the other people, their names are written down below in the link to below. But no, we want to here. We're going to get back to the main issue of the show here. So yeah, there's like a free they give out free food here. I mean, I don't eat the food, of course, because you know I only eat once a day and I'm very strict and I make my own food. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, I mean it's like the freaking .com atmosphere again they got the .com vibe here. I don't even know if they know what that is, but it's like the 2000 type of thing going on or something like that. But you hear people talking about like complex leveraged meme coin trading. Okay, I don't like it, but this is what people are doing. This is you know a lot of people are like, oh, it's all this is BS, it's all going to fail. But there are actually people doing stuff here with you know leveraging meme coin NFT trading, you know, getting loans from this type of. Hey man, good luck to them if they got money to blow on that. If they got people funding them with that, I am a confident decentralist. Okay, so I am happy for them actually because these people are happy people. They're happy that they're doing things. They're not complaining and screaming about another coin. That literally they're doing. You know, in the Bitcoin space, we have people. I mean, there's some people they have Ethereum derangement syndrome. It's unbelievable. It's like why don't you just do something? Why don't we go promote Bitcoin? It's like everyone knows I live this. The best way to promote Bitcoin is not to rip on Ethereum and Solana. It's to talk about Bitcoin. It's to talk about my freaking wild ride through the Bitcoin space since 2013, how it changed my life, how it's like the biggest thing that's ever freaking happened in my life other than, you know, family type of stuff. It is the best financial decision I've ever made in my life. This is very positive stuff. You know, saying Ethereum's a scam, Solana's a scam or whatever, that's not very positive. That's not, you're not going to get people. You're not going to, and maybe that's not what you want. Maybe you just want to complain all day. Maybe you're angry that you don't. I think some of these people don't even have Bitcoin that complain and scream about all these other things and stuff. And clearly they have never tried these other altcoins and seen that there's some innovative stuff going on here. I mean, you can with the Phantom wallet or whatever with Solana or with MetaMask with Ethereum, you know, the decentralized trading with Ethereum and stuff with what's that? I mean, there's all these ones you can use and do their trading or their whatever. It's pretty cool stuff. It's really interesting stuff that isn't done on Bitcoin. And whatever, Bitcoin is money. And I think if you ask the people here, is Solana money? I don't think they would say it's money. I don't think they see it that way at all. It's something to build on. It's a totally different. It's really that's why Bitcoin and Ethereum can both exist, and you know that one is money and one is like you're building apps and stuff. And it's just. Try it out, dude. Try out there. And I do want to say in this space, and I don't know if anybody from Driphouse is here. I linked to it below. I think Driphouse is and I said this 6 months ago too, I believe. I still believe it. Driphouse is really revolutionizing social media and cryptocurrency. They might have the answer, and that's in Solana. And I mean, a lot of people have. I mean, I remember when when Steam came out in 2016. Okay, Steeming. I mean, and people thought maybe that was the solution. People in the cryptocurrency space, people have been looking for the solution of combining social media and cryptocurrency. What's going to be the killer app with that? Since 2016, when some of these kids were freaking again in high school and stuff. So more power to the people over at Driphouse. I wish they would make it easy for me to upload my freaking videos there. Still, and there's again, I have not met anybody from Driphouse here. I would love for them to help me get my videos on Driphouse so I could turn it in, eventually turn what I earn into Bitcoin there. And I also said last time that TipLink is a great company. They do have somebody here. And I know Vinny Lingham actually funds them, and they're doing very good things too. So I mean, a lot of people in the Bitcoin space have no idea what these things are. Again, you don't really have to know what they are unless you're curious. But I think they could be big companies one day. So you'll hear about them whether you like it or not if they do well. Because and the Bitcoin people could learn, especially from the TipLink people. They could get that. You do your own research. You can look. They're linked to below. Okay. So I want to say also what I learned here is that there is in Argentina. There's some Solana group. They're building companies in Argentina with Solana, and I tweeted about this. I linked to the tweet below, and it just put such a huge smile on my face because I remember some of the Bitcoin Inquisitionists that freaking worship insane people and El Salvador promoters blindly, and the leader of El Salvador, how they were like, oh, it's so great that El Salvador only promotes Bitcoin, and someone, and I'm not going to name his name because he's such an Iranian sympathizer. He worked for Iran State TV. This guy. This person was saying, "Oh, Argentina should not allow altcoins. Malay should outlaw it or something completely ridiculous. Something that's totally against the ethos of separation of state and money. Totally against it. But oh yeah, they should make Argentina should force its people only to use Bitcoin." Well, I put a huge smile on my face when I see that Malay is great. He's not. He really does believe in separation of money and state. So there's some Solana group down there that they're building all sorts of things. I don't even know what it is. Again, it's linked to below in my retweet, and you can check. But good for them. And yes, I'm definitely a strong believer in separation of money and state. So what do we have here? Oh, and speaking of that, in most countries, if the state would just get out of the way, and this is why they're not getting out of the way, and this is especially true in the second and third tier countries that really force their worthless fiat on the people, you would see all sorts of altcoins, and of course Bitcoin would dominate, but there'd be NFTs, there'd be tokens, there'd be altcoins, there'd be all sorts of things going wild in these countries because they're all better than the fiat system. All those things that I just mentioned. And NFTs are better than fiat. You can make an argument for it, but definitely, Ethereum, Solana, better than Russian freaking rubles. Okay, you could make if you had, if there was no government regulation, you could make some NFTs that were better, that would be immediately more valuable than Russian rubles. You could get really complex, okay, because Russian rubles represent this terribly horrible, corrupt country, which all these people want to get out of, and where human beings are used as cannon fodder. It's unbelievable. Hey, by the way, we're going to talk about the cannon fodder of cryptocurrency in a second, but And young people out there, they're not into paper fiat anymore. The young people are so digital. They really value NFTs. Okay, they really value this kind. And I don't totally get it yet because I didn't grow up in the same space that some of these people. Some of these people were in high school during the virus and stuff. I was far from high school during the virus. So it's a real digital world we're living in. And I can't believe that some Bitcoin people can't even believe that because Bitcoin is totally digital. And one of the insults that the gold bugs say is it's just ether floating into space or something like that. I could touch my gold. You can also touch yourself. Pound that like button. And a lot of you do that. So And that was a good song in the 90s. I just want to show. All right, so moving. Oh, we got $6.15 from someone here. Cold Flow Still Moon. It's hard to believe it's been 7 years since I found your channel. Many thanks for all the good insights and excellent guest. Best freaking guest in the space, dude. Thank you very much, Cold Flow Still Moon. $6.15. Oh man, I see Lance is in the house too. He's actually lives in Salt Lake City area. So in the great state of Utah, best freaking state in the United States of America right now. Yeah, so Goldflow, thank you very much. We only need about like $9 for the next one Bitcoin show. So if somebody sends like $10, you're guaranteed another one Bitcoin show very soon, where I will talk about that woman with whatever her name is, Whitney Webb. Oh, so horrible. So I want to vomit because she's so foolish. Such a doomer. She has no solutions. She only complains. All she does is compete, don't complain. Compete, don't complain. And we got people competing here. We got people. Again, they don't complain. I don't hear complaints here. I don't hear complaints. I see competition. I see competition. It's a good vibe. And God willing, Barrett has this in February again. I know he wants to turn this into like a funding mechanism for companies. Good for him. This is a real entrepreneur. This is the ethos of freaking Utah and Salt Lake City. There's a bunch of entrepreneurial people here that are doing things, that are building things. It's very, very impressive. It's just such a happy place to walk around too, and everything like that. All right, let's move on here. Let's move. Oh, you hair not looking good today. Oh, you gotta be careful with that one. All right, let's move that up. Okay, moving on. We're 16 minutes into this freaking thing. Yeah, I really do need to wash my freaking hair. I'm a wild one here. I really need to cut my hair too, but that's only done in Baltimore. Habits are hard to break. So the battle of ideas, and I want to put this out here. The 80%ers are going to succumb to many bad ideas. And there's just absurd economics out there. It's a form of, it's like where these economically horrible ideas, what's the one called where they just keep on printing money over and over again? Monetary, MMT. That one, people believe it works for a while, by the way. It works, and it works through government force and ignorance. So, I mean, even in North Korea, it succeeds for a few people. Their economics, it does. There will always be some small percentage of the population where these horrible ideas work, and then a pretty large percentage of 80%ers who make up excuses for it. Okay. So for all you people that think, socialism is going to die, blah, 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 all these things are going to die. No. It benefits some people. And the 80%ers, if they're told by the media, like this works, they'll say it works. And they'll vote for it over and over and over and over and over again. It's not going to end. All right. So there's just a lot of you who are like, no, this is mathematically, this is impossible. It has to end. Right? No. It won't end because it benefits some people. It will always benefit some people. And then the 80%ers, who inflation really hurts some of these, poor and middle class people and stuff. But if they're told if Elizabeth Warren tells them, we're getting back at Elon Musk, they'll be like, yeah, we're getting back at Elon Musk. They're so vengeful and hateful. They don't even care that their quality of life is going down and stuff. And what they got a thrill when they got a check in the mail from the government. They got a thrill from it. So that's a happy thing for them too. So, dude. It's absurd economics. There are so many people that live in the absurd economics realm, and it works. And so my best advice is to live in the best economic realm, which is Bitcoin. And all those other trends and fads can come and go, can ebb and flow, but you're protecting your wealth. You have a real asset, and this is the future. So again, that's why I call it the Bitcoin overlay. We're looking down upon all this insanity that's going on. But don't think the world's going to end. It's not going to end. It's not going to end. All of this will continue for a long. Kamala Harris is probably going to become the president of the United States. It's not going to end. And some of her ideas are horrible. And they are going to try to tax my wealth. It is not going to be a fun situation here. But it can happen. It can happen. It will. But if you got the Bitcoin, there are ways to avoid all of the nonsense. All right. So, and to like benefit from it. yeah, and when tech is allowed to thrive, for all you people who want to like to regulate everything, all right, when te- we just start to value things so much differently. When oil was once like horrifying, but we got tech, it was worthless. But we got this technology that allowed, oil to be used for something awesome. And then because of technology, it became a very valuable thing. And digital assets are held back right now by all sorts of regulation that's out there, by the Elizabeth Warrens of the world. But as soon as some of this regulation goes away, and again, this is why it's important for Trump to win, for these ecosystems that have all these digital assets on them. If Trump wins, he's not going to touch this stuff. He's going to let these people just really go wild, where they don't have to worry about, if they sold an NFT once, if they had capital gains tax, and all the, if the government's going to come shut down their business or something like that. It's all the stuff that a lot of people hate. That's not money, but is built around cryptocurrency. There's gonna be value. There's gonna be some real. Again, people already value it, but I think it'll be more obvious to some of the normies. Like, yeah, this is valuable to me. Now, I don't know how that's going to be, but that's why you let technology flow. That's why you let innovation go wild. And it just sickens me so much. There's so many people that are Luddites out there. They just want to stop the progress of the world because of, it all boils down to like, I think that pelican is worth more than my life or something like that. Or that tree is worth more than me. They hate themselves so much that they think a tree is worth more than them or something. It's going to burn up because it's going to go up by 2 degrees or something like that outside. They have no confidence in innovation because they do not understand innovation. And yeah. All right. So I also hear people talking about issuing tokens for their companies, and you know what? Right now, I think they have a lot of cojones to even say that, because the ridiculous regulations. I mean, they can put you in jail if you issue and that's the regime that we're currently under. And I really believe that if Elizabeth Warren no longer has any power, which would basically be under a Republican administration, which would be Trump. Yeah, you won't have to worry about that. There'll be a sandbox for token people to play in, whatever you want to call it. They have clear the people in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, the people who go to government and talk to them. They've done a very good job of just getting on the getting to the Trump team. You could tell it was in his speech that he is going to let these things fly. And already there have been Republicans for years and years that have jumped on. We've had Republicans coming, Cynthia Loomis, whoever it may be, the dude from Ohio, becoming the Bitcoin events for years. So, and there are some Democrats that I mean, Torres in New York. I mean, perhaps he's been bribed. I don't know. A lot of these Republicans have been bribed by Bitcoin people. Great. If that's the way it's got to work, then that's the way it's got to freaking work. What I want to see is innovation out there and stuff. And you're not going to get that much innovation under a part 2 of the Biden administration is really what it's going to be. And that's the best it could be. The worst it could be is who knows what she could do. She could actually do some of the things she really believes in. And some of the things that woman really believes in, she believes in really equity, social, everybody ending up with the same stuff. Everybody ending up with the same. That's really bad. That involves chopping a lot of people down to make everybody equal. Just remember that. I mean, do you want to be living like the people in inner city Baltimore? We all live like you think that'd be fun? You think that's fun? I spent quite a lot of time in my some of my most healthy years in inner city Baltimore. Okay, go down to watch some of my older videos. All right, so what do we have here? And that's why I know Salt Lake City is the best freaking city in the United States of America, the best major league city. Pound that like button. And Baltimore is one of the worst. And that's where I'm from. That's where my family lives. And you know I love it on a certain level. But all right. So anyway, now we talked about the token sale people. Oh yeah. I'm going to read a quote now. Why am I going to read this quote of mine? I have it written down. As I have said before, this is the first time in the history that we have seen tribalism when dealing with money. I am personally fascinated by this development and what it says about the psychology surrounding money and value. Yeah, that's quoting me. I think it speaks to itself. There is like, we're developing this psychology. Well, I mean, there's always been a psychology around money, and you get really happy when you get a check from the government, but it's inflating the money supply. It's only a temporary high. No, but this tribalism around cryptocurrency is so fascinating. And, the hardcore Bitcoin Inquisitionists, I don't like their insanity, but they do add some value to Bitcoin. I mean, because they scare people into not talking about other coins, so other people don't even hear about them. So obviously, some of the value that would go to these other coins is not going to these coins because some people do a real good job of scaring people away by not even. You get what I mean here, all right? But so it's really interesting to see I don't like tribalism at all. I really don't like it at all. It's mindless. It involves incredible force and scaring people and everything like that. But it happens in this space, and we've never been in a time where people are like, "Yeah, man, I love the ruble." Over the dollar. No one does that. No one does ruble over the dollar or euro over the dollar. There's not that kind of tension about that. Nothing even close to this insanity. I mean, and you have a lot of people like complaining in the cryptocurrency space, like, dude, I can't talk about, these Bitcoin people come shoot, some like, what's that guy's name? He's a jerk. The Barstool Sports guy, yeah, he was like shocked by the Bitcoin people attacking him and stuff. All right, but I'm a confident decentralist, so yeah, let the Bitcoin Inquisition say what they're going to say. Let everybody say what they're going to say. Let the Richard Hart brainwash people say what they're going to say too. I mean, and you got to think for yourselves, guys, and decide what's best for you. And Bitcoin is best, but. It's been very, very good to me. So what do we have here? Oh, yeah, we talked about people building in Utah and Salt Lake City. And, so for all you people also that think, I'm going to give you another reason why altcoins are never going to disappear. There is just a human desire to beat alpha. And in the cryptocurrency space, Bitcoin is alpha, okay? So there are always going to be people that want to say, I did better than the people who held Bitcoin. I did better than the people. And one of the quote unquote best ways to get in on the altcoin flavor of the month. Whatever altcoin is the latest. This is why people do these meme coin things too. They know it's worthless. They know, but you don't know if they can just ride the wave and they'll do better than if they just did the easy thing and help. So most of these people end up totally cannon fodder. Okay. They lose all their money. And eventually it all goes back to Bitcoin. And because the people who win on those trades, what are they going to do? Are they going to keep it in those other cryptocurrencies? No, they're going to go to Bitcoin. They're going to store the value in Bitcoin. Some of them are going to store them in these stable coins too, and whatever, because they foolishly still value their wealth in dollars. But whatever, if they're going to do that, they want to do that. But yeah, they are. So for all you people like, oh yeah, they should outlaw these meme coins and NFTs and all these other altcoins. No, let them be. Let the people learn their lesson the hard way, because it's human nature to try to beat alpha. It's human nature to try to beat Bitcoin, because if people just stood back, and because my philosophy sounds so boring when compared to them. I've been saying buy and hold, watch the videos, watch the 2014 video pinned to my freaking tech ball at Twitter, TECHBALT. And just like, yeah, put your hands back and just hold on to that Bitcoin. And most people can't do that. They got to do something with their cryptocurrency. They got to do something with their Bitcoin. And they are the cannon fodder, baby. They are the cannon fodder. And if they want to be cannon fodder, they can be cannon fodder. If they really want to be cannon fodder, they can move to Russia and let their kids grow up there. And then their kids will be used as true cannon fodder, which is sickening. Now, hey, but some of you guys love what's his name, Putin. You think he's strong or something. So, and that he temporarily made Bitcoin legal or something, sort of like China always did back in the day, sort of. And then they always went back because they're whimsical totalitarian regimes, and they just want to stay in power. All right, now, We had the Cannon founder. Oh, yeah, 10 years of Ethereum since the Ethereum pre-sale. All right. So many of you know that I've been in Bitcoin so long that I've been in Bitcoin before there was Ethereum. And so in 2014, when I was spending some time in Los Angeles before it went totally insane in 2020, which is when Los Angeles was the best of the four big cities in the United States. It was New York, Chicago, LA, and Houston. When LA was actually the best one, when they really had freedom and people doing cool things and stuff, and weren't like scared and weren't jumping off the curb when you would walk by them without a mask back in 2014. Anyway, I was in LA because it was cool to be in LA and stuff, man. And I was what neighborhood was I in? The trendy one off of Santa Monica or whatever. Nah, I forgot near Echo Park, the other one. Anyway, it doesn't matter where the heck I was. It doesn't matter at all because I was, it was still the early days of Bitcoin. I still hadn't made my September 2014 Bitcoin video yet. That's pinned to my tech bot that I keep talking about because it was June of 2014. Anyway, all of a sudden they're talking about this this Ethereum thing that's coming out. And if you send some Bitcoin to this address, you'll get this Ethereum thing. So I sort of figured out what they were talking about. And I sent them $6 worth of Bitcoin. And eventually, like a half a year later, I got sent some weird code where I could get this Ethereum thing. And I got like 20 Ethereum, whatever that was at that time. And I started figuring out, okay, this isn't, I knew what we obviously knew what altcoins was, but I knew this wasn't freaking Litecoin. I could tell you that. I knew how to get Litecoin. This wasn't the way you got Litecoin. So people were like, oh, they had a pre-sale. Yeah, they had a pre-sale. And I got 20, I got 20 Ethereum because of this pre-sale for $6 freaking dollars. And the funny thing is that shortly after that, I mean, Tone Bays was really ripping on Ethereum from the very beginning, and he said, I think it actually debuted in trading maybe in 2015. It still took a while to be traded, and so it hasn't been 10 years since it's been traded, but it's been 10 years since it was issued, since the pre-sale. And I got to say this, Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin, but something I've also said is Ethereum is the next Ethereum. During most of those 10 years, it's been, I mean, the 99% of the time, 99.99. I think there was only one short period of time where like Bcash might have been number 2 or Ripple might have been number 2 for a second or something. And both of them would have been for a second. Ethereum has been the number 2 cryptocurrency all that time. So there are a lot of people that say Ethereum is going to die, but it's been the number 2 cryptocurrency for 10 years, while all the rest of the top 10, oh man, that's a crime scene, man. The stuff, how that thing's changed, man. I mean, it's been unbelievable. Some of the trash that's been in there. I mean, you've had Steam. Steam was number 3 once, if you can believe that. All sorts of things that you never even heard of anymore have been as high as number 3. It's been crazy in that top 10. Purecoin, I don't know. It was all sorts of things. So there you go. There's a little bit of history there that the Solana people and the Bitcoin people and the Ethereum people can appreciate that. Who may be watching this? Who knows who the heck's watching this? Pat. Oh yeah, let's see if we have any questions in the live chat. Morning, Adam. RFK really understands Bitcoin. Oh yeah, much better than Trump. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, and yeah, UK Bitcoin Master is going to do his show in 22 minutes. Don't worry. It'll be over by then. This show will be over. And he's been in Bitcoin for 7.5 years. He reminds us. I have owned Bitcoin for 11 years, almost 11 years. And I've known of Bitcoin for longer than that. All right. Who do we have here? Yeah. Zach says that he thinks Ayn Rand should read, not Ayn Rand, that Kamala should read Ayn Rand. If she thinks, no. I don't know. No. Kamala couldn't sit through all that. She couldn't. She doesn't. No. She's not down. No, she won't learn a darn thing from that. All right. All right, she's too indoctrinated. She's a 60-year-old woman. She'll be 60 very soon. She ain't gonna learn. All of you should read Ayn Rand. Okay, all of you should read Atlas Shrugged that are watching this. Okay, and you will see that everybody ripped on Rand first, like blowing it out of. Oh, this could never happen. All this stuff could never happen. The government could never form all these task force and force people to do X, Y, and Z, and people would never talk like this. No, everything that happened in with the bureaucracy and the self-haters and stuff, all the rich people that hate themselves that went on in Atlas Shrugged, that's going on right now in real life. All of it. It's unbelievable. It's unfreaking believable. So no, come on, and many people wouldn't learn a thing from it. They would deny that this is happening. Some of them would be ashamed and embarrassed that this true capitalists predicted all of their nonsense. All right, they should be ashamed by all this. All the people that brought this on this nation, who have made this normal to hate yourself for being rich, and to hate successful people, and to hate innovation. It really is something that haunts so much of our culture, and just the philosophy, the philosophy of regular everyday people is to just hate the rich, hate the successful, worship the victim. The victim is the highest thing. That's what woke is. The victim, everything for the victim, everything for the victim. If you're a victim, you're correct. You are correct, no matter what. If the victim tells you to do something, do. If the victim tells you to kill yourself, kill yourself. That is the morality of this world. And again, Yaron Brook on Twitter, on YouTube, he explains that very well because he is a follower of Rand. Now, but he is embarrassingly moderate when it comes to Bitcoin. It's embarrassing. It's really embarrassingly neutral, whatever you want to say it. It's horrible. He should be promoting Bitcoin, but he's not. All right, so now, what do we have here? And also, I mean, there's all sorts of Arthur Hayes to Dan Tapiero. These are all people who know the legitimacy of Ethereum. All right, so if you need for me to name drop there of Bitcoin people respected in the Bitcoin space. And so let's make a real quick comment here. Again, I took the light rail here from parking my car in a different neighborhood. And once again, the light rail, although it is much more efficient than the light rail in Baltimore, the bum situation on the light rail in Salt Lake City is horrifying. It's just ridiculous. It could so easily be stopped. All you would have to do is get a meter made on there and say, okay, everybody show your ticket. None of the bums have tickets. And I only ride on the 4-stop part that is free, so you couldn't do it on that part. But they don't get off at the non-free zone. They stay on all day long. These and maybe some of the light rail goes down to the suburbs. So I assume they don't make it all the way down there, because the suburbs here, they have no drug problems or anything like that are open to anyone, from what I can tell. It's like living in the 1950s in these freaking suburbs, okay, in terms of all sorts of things. So I guess the bums, but in the city of Salt Lake City, this is an outrage that you have to see these bums on here. It's really bad. They're all drug addicts. They smell. It's worse than Baltimore. It's worse than. So I'm willing to critique Salt Lake City also here, okay? And to be worse than Baltimore on anything, you got a problem. You got a real problem. So I mean, yeah, it's gross. There's a lot every time. It doesn't matter what hour you're going on it. They're on there, male, female, all sorts of races, everything. I mean, it's a diversity of homelessness and drug addicts. It's really bad. So I did want to mention that, but the light rail runs on time though, so that's a positive. Unlike in Baltimore, where it's like totally unpredictable. It's a totally, and on Baltimore, there's some bums and stuff. There's some people that are going to the clinic to get their drugs and everything, but it's not like this. It's really crazy here. It's really bad. So it's West Coast style here. I mean, we're almost on the West Coast here. All right, so we talked about light rail, and I do want to say that I don't like putting people in classes, but when you're living in this technology world and you can spend some time at a co-working space like this, you are in the laptop class. Okay, you are. you really digitized the way you make money, and that's so awesome. That's so awesome. And um, more and more Americans are getting into that. While we still have people complaining, why don't we have hard work anymore? Why don't we have, you know what? I walk by where people are supposed to be doing hard work, okay? And they are doing hard. They're building buildings, whether it be in Nashville, I started noticing this in 2021, or Salt Lake City. We're to a point where it's only Hispanic people who are immigrants, clearly, working on these buildings, all right? They're building and it's gotten to a point where it's Hispanic women now, all right? These little women are, so there are opportunities out there. If people want to do the hard work, we've gotten down to where little Hispanic women have to be imported from different countries to work these construction sites. This is crazy stuff. So those of us that are in the laptop class, we are just so elite. I mean, we are just, teach your children well. Teach them, it might be manly to dig a ditch or whatever. Cool. You should know how to do some things. But we're just in the first world, in the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. I mean, we at the top of the pyramid, and it's not that high up on the pyramid, okay? When you're at the freaking whatever this is, the WeWork, okay? It's such a better world where you don't have to be working, throwing things out of windows, dust going up your nose and stuff like that. And to tell you the truth, we don't have a lot of people born in this country anymore who want to do that stuff anymore. And we're going to have robots doing it soon. And so this is another way to figure out a way to get immigration to a point where it's, people sneaking over the border. That's not cool. It could be a very ordered system, all right? Because it could be simple as like, if there's a job for you, you should be able to come here, all right? And there are jobs for people here. We have more jobs than people willing to work at this point. And, because, so much of the country just wants a government check. And if you are born in the United States, if you've got a social security number, you could figure out a way to get a government check. Okay. You can get it. So there's some people that are, again, we're living in this world of such, there's so much abundance out there that you can just be a bum your whole life now in America. You really can. If you're born into a certain level, economic level, you can figure out how to rig the system, because the system is stealing so much from the rich and the productive that, and that is very important with immigrants. We don't want to bring in people that are going to do that. That's why they already have to have a job lined up and stuff. That's very important. All right. And yesterday I was at an event where I was actually, I was talking to some very young people, some people who were like 19 years old and stuff. And this is a good way to conclude. And they're a very digital generation. They knew about Dogecoin and Bitcoin, and some of them had traded stuff before, and they were interested. These were people who were actually in a few of them were in business school at University of Utah, where they have a great entrepreneurial program I've learned about, and they're building all sorts of new buildings. I would love to get together with them. I think Barrett should get together with them. Because they're not teaching cryptocurrency over there, Bitcoin over there right now, from what the kids were telling me. But the fact that these obviously industrious young people were talking about Bitcoin and Dogecoin, I was trying to tell them, the history of Dogecoin. They sort of knew it. They knew about Elon's interest in it. Well, the people here over at Mountaindale, you got something, your Solana actually does a lot more things than Dogecoin does. All Dogecoin is really a joke version of Litecoin, and its only hope is that Elon Musk will make that the micropayment mechanism of everything that he owns, which would be really big for it. But there are other ways to do micropayments. You can do it with Solana and stuff. That's really easy too. But the only thing, again, the only real built-in value I see of Dogecoin is that it's micropayments. Cheap micropay. Although as it becomes more popular, it does get more expensive. And Elon Musk, those are the two things. So that's the other thing that we should conclude with. All of these altcoins, Solana, and that's a lesson from the title here. They're somewhat centralized in that they do revolve around entities. If it was not for the venture capital people, very respectable event. A lot of people are like, all the all-in pod bros, they're the ones that got into Solana. Yes, they did. They're very rich. They keep on throwing money into it. All sorts of people that are their friends keep on throwing money into it. Why is this event even happening here? And they get all this free food. It's because there's a lot of freaking venture capital money that flows into the space. So it's certainly, it's a little bit, but it's not going away. It is what it is. It's the venture capitalist little baby. That's what they love. They love the Solana things. Good for them and everything like that. But Bitcoin does not have that issue where it relies on some entity, whether it be Bitcoin does not need Elon Musk. As I said before, Dogecoin needs Elon Musk. But going to my final point again, it's very refreshing to see the 19-year-olds of the world, the ones who were born in 2005. Unbelievable. The kids born in 2005 know about this stuff, and that's what that's why there's a future for these altcoins and stuff, because they're not going to be like all of a sudden Bitcoin Inquisitionists. Come on, guys. These are, and there's always going to be more and more youth coming. There's always going to be more and more people trying to beat alpha. So again, Barrett and the crew, you put on a very nice event here. Thank you very much. And let's see if there's, we got one more question here. Which Bitcoin influencers are you friends with? Oh my God, all the old school guys, Tonebase and BTC Benny. And I go to the guys from Simply Bitcoin. And they're not that old school. I was around a long time before them. All the people that you would see at Tonebase's event in Las Vegas in September, Unconfiscatable, all those type of guys, those old school guys. The guys I've had on my show, guys, watch all my old This Week in Bitcoin shows. Those are the Bitcoin influencers I am friends with. But some of the ones that went crazy after the virus, I'm not friends with those ones anymore. but no, and of course UK Bitcoin Master is on here. He's my friend. Yeah, I just want to see if there's any other ones I really should be mentioning that I'm not mentioning that have just watch some of my This Week in Bitcoin shows. You can just go to techvault.com if you only want to see the This Week in Bitcoin shows. I haven't done one for a while. I do these one Bitcoin show. I guess someone wants to pay $150. We'll do another This Week in Bitcoin show with your favorite Bitcoin influencers who are my friends. And by the way, the people who are Bitcoin influencers that are my friends, I think every one of them would say they don't want to be called a Bitcoin influencer. That's how you know. That's how you know they're my friends, because I don't like that word either, that term either. But no, the old school guys. And so someone's saying Trace Mayer is the man. I don't think he's he's disappeared from the what. Oh, the last appearance he made was on my show at Unconfiscatable in 2020, and he was definitely someone I was a fan of when he was around. And he's not around anymore, guys. All right, pound that like button. Just like Andy Hoffman's not around anymore, for those of you who ask. And he's retired from the Bitcoin space, from being a public figure in the Bitcoin space. Totally retired. For a lot of people have asked. All right, go watch UK Bitcoin Masters show now. Pound that like button. See you guys later. Bye bye. Thank you.